JC Motors with the 444 shocks from Progressive. At JC Motors, you can ride with confidence and shop with confidence, knowing that we offer no hassle returns, life returns, and even a damage replacement offer. Go to jcmotors.com, get all the details, and you'll find out why over 280,000 motorcycle enthusiasts like yourself have purchased their parts and gear from us. Today, we've got Pat from Progressive Suspension to tell you about the 444 shocks.
Thanks, Clint. Hello, everybody. Today I thought we'd talk about our newest series of shocks, but I wanted to do a little bit of a history background for you. Those of you who are familiar with us, you have come to know that we've always offered a good, better, and best product. Well, here is, if you will, the best of the best. This is our 444 series shock. It comes, as all our others have over all these years, in chrome or black, standard or heavy duty, in spring, all of them obviously Progressive rate spring, and in half-inch increments from a stock length, which is typically 13 inches, down to the safest, shortest length that we've determined, which normally is either 11 or 11 and a half inches, depending on the particular bike. Some of the features that you've come to know and love with Progressive has been also this series, like others, has a hand adjustable preload. Rather than using a spanner wrench at the bottom of the shock, this series allows you to just simply rotate. You get about 12 turns from min to max, so it provides you a very wide range of adjustment for when you're riding one up versus riding with a passenger or passenger and cargo. What's also unique about this series, and I'm sorry I can't show it, make you be able to hold it and feel it, is that these are now all aluminum construction. You'll notice here on this one, we no longer have the welded eyelet. It's a one-piece eyelet. So this series has a look to its, a new and improved look, but also a new and improved element of weight. The pair here will be 4 pounds less than any previous pair of shocks we've offered to the market. Obviously, the spring is still steel, as is the rod, but all the rest of the body and components are aluminum. Here you'll see that we have a cutaway of the damper. And much like some of our other series that we've introduced to you, this is also a patented feature. If you recall the previous setup called IAS valve, the inertia active system, this takes that function to an entirely different level. The key to any comfort in riding a motorcycle is separating the wheel movement from the chassis movement. And this series of shock does that absolutely better than none other that's out there that we've done or the competition has done. And as I mentioned, the IAS valve has now been replaced with what we call a frequency sensing valve, or an FST for short. Gotta love those acronyms, right? And essentially this is what the IAS valve did times 2. The IAS valve worked in rebound. That's where you got the ultimate separation of chassis to wheel movement. The FST does it in both directions, the compression and the rebound. And that's very important to you, because as you're going over those rough bumps in that compression direction, we now provide you what we call, if you will, a sweet spot. The sweet spot is this valve allows the fluid to, by design, leak. Now you say to yourself, wow, that doesn't sound very smart, but actually the ride is where the proof is. When it leaks in that sweet spot, you feel no imperfections in the road, none whatsoever. Those tar strips, the seams in the pavement, the seam that you go over an overpass, totally gone. But now when you hit that slightly larger bump that takes you out of that sweet spot, this valve assembly closes and prevents that leakage and then forces the oil to travel from one side of the piston to the other, which again gives you that ultimate absorption of that energy without transmitting it to you in the saddle. And then naturally the rebound process, energy in, energy back out, so as quickly as it compresses, it rebounds. And that's the key again to that perfect ride, because you want that tire in contact with the pavement all times at all costs. Otherwise, as we finish our discussion here, this series shock does come with a nitrogen gas charge. This is the full floating piston. We want to have that separation of oil from gas, because in an OE stock, lower end aftermarket shocks, those typically are allowed to mix, and that's not good. Generally, they're not nitrogen gas, they're air, where we use nitrogen on all our series, and we separate the two so there's no foaming of the oil, there's no intermixing that ultimately causes fade. And especially when there's temperature involved, like when you leave in the morning and it's cool, and by noontime it's very warm out, a standard stock shock that's filled with air, obviously air increases in pressure with temperature, and the entire performance characteristics internally are changed. Ours will be the same whether it's first thing in the morning, middle of the afternoon, or late at night. Last but not least, this series of shock, like so many of our others, does come with a lifetime warranty. So in addition to the great offer that JC Motors provides you with, this product itself will give you that lifetime warranty so you can set it, forget it, and go ride more. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Pat. Should we remind our audience what the price point is on these shocks?
Yes, good question. These will start in the black configuration, just over $600, and the chrome will be about $675.
Perfect, thanks. As always, you'll find a lower price at JC Motors, and we welcome all your questions. You can call us at 800-706-9476 or go to jcmotors.com, get live support, and you'll find out why JC Motors is where riders get deals.